All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Great Saturday. Towards the end of October, where are we? October 29th, 2023. And I want to give everybody a market update as to what's going on in Ocala, Florida, Marion County real estate. We're going to be talking really in depth stuff. We're going to get into it because a lot of people will watch and want to know, okay, what's going on with the market? Is it a great time to buy? Is it a great time to sell? What should I do? Or you might just be curious. So if you're just curious, that's perfectly fine. If you have questions, you can let us know. You can put it in the chat as well. So let's get to it. What we're looking at here, the supply of homes for sale is still low nationwide. I talk to a lot of people around the country, a lot of real estate agents, and they tell me that inventory is still low. If you're in a market where uh, new construction is in existence, it's a thing. It's definitely an advantage. But this tells you here, if you look at this, 2020, the monthly supply of homes back in September of each year from the last 4 years, 2020, 1.3 million nationwide, just a little bit below that in 2021, about 80,000 less in 2022, and a big jump down in 2023. Part of that from the national standpoint is interest rates. Like interest rates, people bought homes and they've got a 2 to 3% interest rate on the home that they're in or refied, and they're afraid to move and get an interest rate that might be in the sevens or the eights. That's what's happening for many people. That doesn't mean that the real estate market is crashing. It just means that there's less people that want to buy and sell because of the interest rate dynamic. Of course, we know the interest rate dynamic is all related to COVID and related items, right? Printing of more money in the system, interest rates having to be raised to slow down inflation. That's basically, that's the big reason why you're seeing such a thing there, right? So let's take a look at, there's some other things I want to show you. Let's take a look at our local market now. We're going to take a look at our local market. The local market is definitely interesting because there is a paradox in what we're seeing right now. There is a paradox in the market, meaning nationally we're seeing less homes come on the market, and in the Ocala, Marion County area, we're seeing more homes come on the market as opposed to going down. So let's jump into it. We're going to take a look at what's happening with real estate right now and the last 10 years. If you look at, let's take a look at the number of home sales first. Number of home sales first will actually tell you a little bit of a story as well. Actually, that's not the right screen. Let me get to the right screen. The right screen is this. So we're looking at number of home sales over the last 10 years. And when you look at it, from 2013, you look at 400 homes, sold, closed in the Marion County area. And of course, through the years that rose, not too much of a difference. If you take a look at 2013 through 2018, not too much of a difference between the 2 years, that's for sure, right? So you're looking at, 414, January 2013, 498, and, 5 years later in January, or take a look at maybe like a July number. There is a little bit of a difference between 594 in 2013 and 715, 759 in 2018. So you're seeing a little bit of a difference there, some substantial movement there, but it took 5 years to get to that point. Of course, now you look at 2019, 2020, 2021. Let's take a look at, September numbers all the way across the board. Not too much of a difference between 2013 and 2018, 567 to 635. But then when you look at, start looking at the September numbers for 2019 through 2023, 761. So we're seeing a jump up in September numbers there. 798, 880, big jump in 2021. No big surprise there. Big dip in 2022. No surprise there because we're seeing interest rates going through the roof compared to what it was just 3 to 4 months before. So it's like night and day, big change. Then of course, 2023, super interesting. Like if you like pay attention to this, September of 2023, record number of sales in any given September ever in the month of September, Marion County. How interesting is that? How interesting is that? If you look at these numbers here, if you pay attention to the market, most markets, you'll say, well, the market is down. It's not that good. Marion County, Ocala, Florida, September sales, record number of sales in any September month. In any September month. Now, the record number of sales, if you look at this, obviously, 2021, June, actually April was the largest at 1,061. But it goes to show you that this is definitely a swift market where people are buying, where a lot of people around the country are saying, well, market is down. Market is not down in Marion County. Now, a lot of those homes that are being sold in Marion County are new construction homes. So that does make a difference. That does make a difference for sure, right? So now let's take a look at some of the other numbers that we need to pay attention to as far as how do we determine if it's a good time to buy or sell? Let's take a look at the active number of listings, as we were alluding to before. And, this is a very interesting number here, because what you tend to see is lots of inventory, 2013, 2018, even into 2019, over 4,000 homes on the market in Marion County. And then, of course, right after 2019, when you hit the end of 2019, interest rates started to, come down a bit, 37.66 as far as inventory, but it's still in the upper ranges of where we've been. But 37.66 as far as number of homes on the market was a real low. And I'm looking through here, was the lowest number in this, starting from 2019 to 2013, 6-7 year period. But then we really started to see lows. So if you start looking at, let's take a look at a chart, start looking at the chart, 2019, this is where we were right here. And that's when basically inventory fell off a cliff. That's where inventory really fell off a cliff. And you're seeing this real trough for about 2 to 3 years up until, spring of 2022, when we started to see a climb because of interest rates going up. We started to see the climb in inventory. Now, we saw a climb, but also we saw a little bit of a decline when we're starting to see a settling down of, inventory, which right now we're looking at, 2,800 homes on the market right now in the Marion County area. So, that's what we're looking at. Like, this is super interesting because, we've seen the big climb up in, number of properties sold. Active properties on the market has gone up tremendously over the last 12 months, but it seems to have plateaued a bit. And I think that's helpful when you're trying to figure out, is it a good time to buy or sell? Because when you see a plateau of properties on the market, then, that basically says that we're seeing a level of stability. A level of stability, I think, is what we're looking for, both on the buyer side and the seller side. So when we're looking at average sales price, I think, this is obviously a real indicator here. You're looking at prices going up over the last, 10 years, under 150 to well over 300 as far as average sales price. That tells you a lot there. And we've seen some ups and downs. Obviously, with the inventory going up, interest rates going up, number of sales went down, but also average sales price went down in this, middle to late part of 2022. And then, of course, what we're looking at into 2023, more of a return to what we saw in 2021, and even exceeding that on the average sales price. So really, look, I think, what we're seeing right now is more of a, return to normalcy, return to what we could expect in Ocala, Florida, and Florida in general. It's like it's finally seen its time. Right? I don't anticipate a market crash. In fact, I think prices will either stabilize or go up very, very slightly over the next, 5 to 10 years. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see this. but I don't think we're going to see a return to like 2015 pricing, 2014 pricing. So if you don't have to buy, don't buy. It's okay. If you don't have to sell, it's okay too. If you've got a great interest rate and you're comfortable in your home, I had to make that decision recently for my own family. But if I wasn't happy in my home, I would save enough. I would save up enough money so I can put enough money down. I think that's always a smart play. Especially first-time homeowners. Save up as much as you can so your monthly payment isn't as stressful. And that's really important. But anyway, Glenn Stein, Realty Executives here. I'm the broker in Ocala and also in the Villages. So if you have questions, you can connect with me, 352-572-3796. Also, please subscribe. That would be fabulous. You'll be notified anytime there's a listing. But right now, stabilization, much different marketplace this time this year, 2023, than what we saw probably October, November of 2022. Definitely a more stable marketplace right now, a little bit more predictability. But if you have questions, let's connect. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and let's